Who is Sentry? Why do some people consider him to be Marvel's most powerful superhero? And why is he so underrated? Well, that's what we're here to explain. Welcome back, Nerd Squad! Today, we're talking about the one, the only Sentry, aka Bob Reynolds. Bob Reynolds got his powers from a chemical compound known as the Compound, which was created by the US government for use in World War II. The formula contained 19 different elements, but it would eventually come to be known as Project God. After being exposed to the Compound, Bob gained super strength, speed, durability, flight, the ability to absorb and redirect energy blasts, invulnerability to all forms of illness and disease, accelerated healing factor, stamina, telescopic and microscopic vision, an organic mechanical body, matter manipulation, light manipulation, probability manipulation, reality, warping, telekinesis, telepathy, precognition, and the ability to cast and control life force. Basically, he's a powerhouse. He originally used his abilities secretly, only coming out of the shadows when needed. But eventually he became a well-known hero, even becoming a member of the Avengers. In fact, during his time with the team, he saved the world over 20 times, which kind of makes you wonder why we don't hear his name more often. But unfortunately, Sentry also has a dark side. His evil alter ego is known as the Void, who possesses all of Sentry's powers, but is essentially pure evil. You could say that the Void is like Thanos with a mega-sized army. When the Void is unleashed, he sets out to kill every single superhero on Earth, starting with the Avengers. He nearly destroys them all before Sentry is able to defeat him, sending the Void back into the depths of his own mind. Now, after that, Sentry decided to join forces with the Avengers, but not without some reluctance. This is because he knew that if he were to lose control and the Void were to take over, then they might just end up losing the entire planet in the process. After joining the team, though, Sentry ended up saving the world a bunch of times, although no one really seemed to remember him actually doing that. Now, this is because of the nature of Sentry's power. See? His powers are fueled by the belief and hope of others. So basically, the more people believe in him, and the more hope they have in him, the stronger he becomes. But the downside to this is that the more emotional attachment he has to other people, the more vulnerable he becomes. As it turns out, Sentry's past is pretty tragic. He grew up thinking that his parents had died in a car crash, only to find out later that they had actually been murdered. Then, on top of that, his brother was killed in Vietnam, and his sister died of a drug overdose. As you can imagine, these events caused a lot of pain and suffering for Bob, which in turn led to the creation of the Void. Now, in order to cope with all this pain and anguish, Sentry made a deal with the demon He traded his immortality and his memory to Mephisto in exchange for the happiness of everyone on Earth. However, this meant that no one would ever remember him, and that he would have to live out the remainder of his life alone, cut off from everyone he had ever loved. It's honestly a pretty sad situation to be in. But even with all of this going on, Sentry still managed to save the world countless times. I mean, seriously, the guy is a total badass. Even villains like the Hood and Dr. Doom recognize how incredibly powerful Sentry is, calling him the strongest hero on the planet. So yeah, Sentry may not be a household name like Spider-Man or Captain America, but he's definitely a force to be reckoned with godlike powers and a never-ending strive to do what's right. Sentry is a true superhero, even if no one remembers his name. But now it's time for you to tell us what you think. How do you feel about Sentry? Have you ever read any of his comics? Let us know in the comments below. And as always, Nerd Squad, thank you so much for watching. I'm your host. Be sure to keep an eye out for new videos, and I'll see you next time. Peace out.